Assalamu alaikum. Today on Nuran Academy, we discuss humanity's future in space from an Islamic perspective. If you benefit, please support by subscribing and sharing as a sadaqah.
For all of human history, we've looked up at the stars. But what if Earth isn't our final home? Really think about that. For the first time ever, we're not just exploring space. We're actually preparing to leave. We're living in what you could call the age of Mars, right at the dawn of a whole new human chapter.
And this new chapter, it forces a question on us that honestly humanity has never had to answer for real. It's always been philosophy, right? But now, as we're looking up at the stars, not just as pretty lights, but as potential, actual homes, we have to ask ourselves, are we explorers by our very design fulfilling some kind of purpose? Or are we about to become trespassers in a realm that just isn't ours?
And look, this isn't science fiction anymore. Not at all. History is literally being made as we speak. You've got NASA's rovers up there right now, scooping up Martian soil to bring back to Earth. You have SpaceX building and testing the very starship that's designed to take us there. And you have brilliant scientists figuring out the really hard stuff, like how to create gravity and how to grow food on Mars. So Mars isn't some far-off dream anymore. It's a calculated, planned-out destination.
So why? Why go to all this trouble, all this expense? Well, beyond that amazing spirit of discovery, Mars represents something incredibly practical: survival. Think of it like this. If something truly catastrophic were to happen here on Earth, having a permanent community somewhere else, that's humanity's insurance policy. It's not about running away from our problems, not at all. It's a real strategy for making sure civilization itself continues.
Okay, so we've talked about the what, going to Mars, and a little bit of the how. But, for a believer, the biggest question is always the why. What does our faith have to say about this incredible ambition? How do we frame all this? So let's dive in and explore the universe through a distinctly Islamic lens.
Time and time again, the Quran pushes us to look beyond our own horizon, beyond just the Earth. A verse like this reminds us that the cosmos, everything out there, it's not some random accident. It's a creation filled with purpose. Our tradition teaches that the universe is absolutely full of ayat, or signs, that are basically an invitation for us to look, to contemplate, to study, and to try and understand.
And right at the heart of our purpose as humans is this beautiful concept of being a khalifa, a steward, a trustee. Now this sacred trust, this responsibility, it isn't just for our planet, it's bigger than that. It extends to the knowledge we gain, and crucially, how we apply that knowledge responsibly, whether we're here on Earth or out there among the stars. You could say our responsibility travels with us.
So what does this all mean? It means that exploring space, when you really think about it, isn't an act of arrogance. It's actually a fulfillment of our God-given purpose. If, and this is a big if, it's done with the right intention. Our faith actually encourages the exact things you'd need for this kind of journey. Carefully observing creation, exploring with a deep sense of humility, and really reflecting on the signs of Allah scattered all across the universe. It's a total shift in mindset. It's not about conquest. It's about responsible discovery.
Now, this whole idea of cosmic curiosity, it might feel very modern, very 21st century, but the truth is it's deeply, deeply rooted in our own history. In fact, for us to embrace the stars today isn't something new. It's about reclaiming a magnificent heritage of discovery that was once ours.
Just think back for a second. For centuries, during the Islamic Golden Age, it was Muslim scholars who were mapping the heavens. They built these massive observatories. They meticulously calculated the motion of the planets, and they gave names to so many of the stars that we still use today. And for them, this wasn't some kind of rebellion against their faith. Far from it. Astronomy was an act of worship, driven by a sense of absolute wonder.
So you see, this pioneering spirit, this intense drive to understand the cosmos, it's not some foreign concept we need to borrow. It's our legacy. It's literally written in the stars, just waiting for this generation to reclaim it.
Of course, with an ambition this huge comes a massive responsibility. Reaching for a whole new world, it forces us to confront some of the toughest ethical questions we've ever had to face as a species.
Let's start with the first one, and it's maybe the most humbling of all. Looking at our track record here on Earth, how we've taken care of it, do we even deserve another planet? Do we deserve a second chance to start over? That's a question that really forces you to stop and think.
And then there's the question of justice. We live in a world with so much inequality. So will space just become another escape hatch for the wealthy and the powerful? A new frontier that leaves most of humanity behind? It's a serious concern.
And finally, let's talk about ownership. Who owns another world? I mean, who gets to make that claim? Is it the First Nation that manages to plant a flag? The corporation with the deepest pockets that funds the trip? Or does a new world belong to all of us, to all of humanity, as a shared heritage?
You see, all these questions, they point to one simple truth. Our biggest challenge here isn't technological, it's ethical. And this is where it all comes together. Technology gives us the power to get to Mars, there's no doubt about that. But it's our faith, Islam, that gives us the limits, the moral guardrails, the ethical boundaries to make sure we do it responsibly. Our amana, that sacred trust we talked about, it doesn't just stop at the edge of the atmosphere.
So this all brings us to the future. And really, it's a direct call to action for the next generation of Muslims. For all of you who are dreaming or studying, who are watching all of this unfold with excitement.
So if you're that student dreaming of space, or the young engineer watching every rocket launch, or even that child just looking up at the night sky full of wonder, listen, you belong in this future. The Ummah needs you. We need astrophysicists who are strong in their iman. We need engineers who build with ethics at their core. We need explorers whose defining trait is humility. And please, never, ever believe the lie that your faith is there to confine your ambition. It's not. Faith is there to direct it.
Because at the end of the day, we have to remember a really foundational principle in our faith. Seeking knowledge, it doesn't matter if it's understanding the tiniest atom or reaching for a distant planet, that pursuit, in and of itself, is an act of worship. It's an ibadah, but only when it's done with the right intention, the intention to better understand the magnificent creation and our own small place within.
Look, the future is being written as we speak, right now, and Muslims have to be among its authors. Our ancestors, they looked up at the same stars, and with the tools they had, they literally changed the world. So the question I want to leave you with is a simple one. If they could do all of that back then, what will you build now?
Presented and created by Neuron Studio.